What's good, big dog?
Hey, how you doing? Everything good? Everything good?
Man, I got to get the proper introduction, man. Today, my special guest, Brian, the Assassin, Norman Jr.
Thank you.
Man, 17 and
Glad to
0,
be here.
17 and 0, 14 KOs, straight out the eight. Hey, man,
Yes,
let's take it all the way back, man. What was it like growing? Are you originally from Atlanta?
yes. I'm from Decatur, Georgia. I was raised in Latonia, Georgia, though. But like, as my childhood, like most people will say, I grew up rough. I grew up in the trenches, the gutter, everything like that. That was not me. I'm not gonna lie. Like that's my lifestyle or anything like that. My daddy was a very good parent. He did it alone by himself. Man, I didn't have everything I wanted. Like I wasn't spoiled, but my daddy was a good father. He didn't have me in the hood or anything like that. So I didn't have to really struggle that much like most people.
Speaking of your dad, he was a professional boxer also as well, correct?
Yes.
When
And
did?
that's and he
Oh, go ahead.
go ahead.
No, go ahead.
Here's the reason why I started boxing really. It was in third grade. I was seven years old. He said, B, I think I finna hang it up. He said, I think I finna retire. He had one more last fight and I wanted to keep it in the name. And I remember everything was in the garage. I had said, well, can I start boxing? He let him, he was dead serious. He looked at me like, are you serious? Are you sure? Because, it's a dangerous sport, everything like that. I said, sign me up. I'm ready for it. And ever since that day, we've been working hard.
What was it like for you your first day in the gym? Did you ever want to quit?
Actually, I did quit once. Not because of boxing, really, but because I was a kid. It was in sixth grade. It's me being stupid. I just wanted to play the game. Just it's as simple as that. Just want to play the game. So I quit that day or whatever. But when I came back even better than before. Everything like that. Had my daddy back in my corner. Everything, and ever since then, I just been going up and up.
Speak on that. The stereotypes of fathers aren't there for their sons. What was it like, man,
Mm.
to be raised by your dad and to get that knowledge and wealth of advice from him?
It was like it was money, cause like my daddy. All right, now I wasn't raised in the hood and everything, but my father was, so he know the ins and outs of everything. Even in boxing, he was on the B side, so he know the bad side of business, the bad side of boxing. He been through all the bad to help me out. So I have literally also he haven't had uh, a consistent trainer. So even him, he wasn't always at his best because he was training himself. You can only get so much better by yourself. So with him being outside the gym, he know pretty much almost everything to help me out. Inside the gym, he know the ins and out of everything. He know how I feel because he been in the ring before. Everything. So it's like money. It's a cheat code to me. It's like a cheat code. I got all the answers right there.
Now, did he ever discourage you from the sport of boxing?
No, never.
Never.
He literally tell me I am the best ever. Can't nobody touch me. He said all the time I'm his favorite fighter. He literally can't see nobody in my weight messing with me. He never, period, ever said that I can't do anything at all.
Now, outside of boxing, did you play other sports as a kid?
I played football a few years. Like I'm real athletic. That's the thing about me. Like I'm athletic. I learn fast. So any sport you throw me in, I can get good. Just and also I got a good work ethic. So I played football a few years. I'm not gonna say my team was the best. It was actually not the best at all. But that's another reason why I want to do boxing because it's a team. Football is more of a team sport. So I could be a good player, but what the whole team not good. When you inside the ring, it's just you. You listen to your coach. I mean, you got a small team, but who doing all the dirty work? It's just you. So that's like boxing better. But besides football, that's it. I mean, I played basketball in the streets. That's about it. But no real deal.
Now, growing up, how was the boxing scene down there in your area during that time?
Can you repeat that?
Oh, how was the boxing scene in your area during that time?
What as a kid or right now?
as a kid? Because I can't imagine there were a lot of gyms down there in your area during that time. So how tough was it to get the work that you wanted?
Good amount. I ain't gonna say it was a lot, but it was a good amount. It was a good amount. It was a good.
Breaking up a little bit. Like, I hope I ain't lost, Norman. You still there?
That's about it.
Yeah, I think you were breaking up a little bit when you were talking about it.
Let me move around a little bit.
Yeah, I think you're in a bad area with the reception. It probably will get better once you get into the house. Get the better Wi-Fi reception. So I'll wait for you. I appreciate everyone's patience. All right, there you go.
I can hear you.
There you go. There you go.
All right, what's the question?
Oh man, you made me forget. Oh, actually, we were actually talking about the work in your area during that time as a kid.
As a kid, the work was wonderful. We had the Montgomerys. You got Money Powell. Well, they still doing big business right now also. But we have a lot of fighters. Tito Lopez, Nigel Lopez, Benjamin Gravitt. You have a lot of good fighters down here in Georgia, actually.
Oh, you talking about the Montgomery brothers out of Macon?
Yes.
Oh,
yes,
back
yeah.
time. Yeah, that's where my mother's side from, man. I used to live there when I was a kid, man. Unionville, West Side.
Yeah, we got a lot of good fighters down here.
Hey man, let me ask you, man. Talk about your amateur background and the national titles and the number of fights that you had.
Now, the number of fights that I have, I can't clearly say I had over 150, but after a while, I just stopped paying attention to how many fights I got. I was just fighting. I'm gonna be real. I was just fighting after a while. But tournaments, I won a lot of nationals. I'm gonna say probably 6. I'm gonna say 6 nationals. I really wasn't counting really, but even in the nationals, I had a lot of fights. Like my weight class was stacked, so I had to fight every day. Like it's a 5-day tournament, I'm fighting every day. So if I get bruised up the first day, oh well, I still got to go through. I won every national I pretty much been to from ever since I was 15. Ever since I was 15, I never lost a fight.
What's one of the toughest fights that you had as an amateur?
As an amateur, I can't really say. Nobody in the amateurs, nobody really pushed me to like I was dead really. Like in the amateurs, it like my dad raised me, be like I was more mature for my age. I was more strong. I was strong. I was faster. I was more mature in the head, so I can think in situations. Thanks to my daddy or whatever. So I really didn't have a hard fight in the amateurs.
Do you think your style was more suited for the pros as an amateur?
Yes and no. The reason why, because I was a killer. So you know, everybody say the pro style is more of a slow pace and everything. But even now, I still pretty much fight the same. I try to kill you. I try to go out. I'm throwing a lot of punches. So it's still the same. So I can't really say it was a pro style.
Now, did you ever have any goals going the Olympic route at all, or it was always the pro route?
I actually did want to go to the Olympics and then turn pro, but my final year of being an amateur, I literally had no fights because they changed the rules last minute. I was 17, and they said I was finna turn 18 that year. They said if you turn 18 this year, you can fight open and everything like that. But they changed it to where you have to be actually 18 years old. So then I wasn't available for the younger tournaments like the silver gloves and everything like that. And I wasn't available for the older fights. I wasn't finna sit out a whole year. So my manager called, he was trying to sign us, and we had just turned pro.
Now, what's some of the things that you really want to work on right now in your professional career as far as boxing?
I just want to get bigger. Like, I know I have the skills, the talent, the hard work, the work ethic, the team behind me. I have everything with me. So now we're just being patient, just waiting for my turn.
You know, currently, like I said in introduction, 17-0, 14 KOs. Do you feel right now you're in a 140 weight class? What are your thoughts on the landscape of what you see at the 140 right now?
I mean, it's tough competition. I see Jose Ramirez, Josh Taylor, and Regis Prograis. Those are the top three. But the toughest fight, I would have to believe it'll be Josh Taylor, just because he's southpaw. That's simple. You know, southpaw is made for ugly fights. That's all it is. But I believe I can work through all of them. I believe I'm too much, even right now at 19 years old.
Now, are you at that point now that you really want to test where you are in your career right now with a huge step-up fight?
Yes, I'm very ready for a step up.
Who do you have your eye on at that step-up fight?
Right now, really, I don't have really an eye for anybody. I'm just looking for an opportunity to step up. You know, I'm just here. I'm just here to fight. I love fighting. You know, I just want to fight.
You know, because when I start thinking about the 140, I think of the next wave, the next up and comers like Gary Antonio Russell. No, Gary Antoine. Gary Antoine.
Yeah, I do want to fight him. One day I do want to fight him. If he win the belt, I want that belt. Whoever win it first, I want that fight. I don't care. But also, even though he's not at 140, I want to fight Rolly one day. Not because I have beef with him or anything like that. I just love his attitude. I love how, like, he's a killer and I'm a killer too. And I want to see if he gonna keep that same attitude if he fight me.
Now, have you ever had a chance to go out to Vegas to get some of that work and sparring? Because it seems like a lot of fighters going out there to get their work right now. It seems like that's the hotbed to get that good sparring there. It seems like everybody's going out there right now.
Yeah, I want to go out there and get the work in too, but you know, life happens, so I can't really. My daddy got to pay the bills. He got to work. He own his own business. He got to take care of his own business, everything like that. So it's really hard to get out right now. So right now I'm just staying local.
You know, during this time when the COVID-19 hit, how much did that set your goals back when COVID-19 hit?
I mean, it set my goals off a year back or whatever, but it's not really nothing big. Like, I was still in the gym training. So matter of fact, actually, believe it or not, I think it helped me out because it gave me more time to not worry about a fight or anything like that. I'm literally just focusing on my skills. Like, that's all I have to worry about, just focusing on skills, work. So everything was actually, I believe I came up in this quarantine.
Now, outside of your dad, are there other traders that you work with?
Yeah, I also work with my daddy, old trainer also. His name is Barry Richardson. So I work with him in the morning, work with my daddy at night.
Now, what's one of the biggest things, man, for a boxer that you should work on the daily?
On the daily, I say get your sprints in for your win and get your footwork right. Footwork is the main thing, and also you got to have the wind to be able to keep up with everything you're trying to do.
You know,
like, it's so simple. You might think you're doing something perfect, but your footwork off just a little bit, and you messed up.
You know, that's interesting that you talk about footwork because the other day I had Coach Zaire Rahim on, and he said that was the main important thing is the footwork.
Yeah, it is. It's very true. Footwork, the jab, and the stamina. So that's my main thing. Like, my dad this is my game plan for pretty much going out to every fight. Come out jabbing and going to the body. I can tell anybody this game plan, they can't do nothing about it. Because why? I worked on my jab every day, all day. I worked on my footwork so I can move. I do my sprints, and I work in the body the whole time. I can see everything. So I can tell you my game plan. You're not going to do nothing about it.
Now, with boxing being your career, did you ever have a plan B, or you was all in? You put all the chips in on boxing?
I'm gonna say yes and no. Yes, I did. I knew for a fact I was finna be a boxer. I was finna be at the top. But I'm gonna say no at the same time because I was going to be a businessman too, and I will still be a businessman. So those are the two things I will be.
Now, with your father being a professional fighter, what's some of the things that he talked about to be cautious of and aware of as you get into this game of boxing, to the sport of boxing?
He said the main thing is protect that O because like right now, if I lose any fight, I am now nobody. I am nobody no more. He told me about the good and the bad on business. Like, watch out for different managers. They'll try to take your money. Promoters, they'll try to take your money. Everything. Don't take that. Don't take a dumb fight. Like right now, I'm a good fighter, but say if I try to fight Errol Spence or somebody, I'm not on that stature yet. I'm not up there yet. So it'll be a dumb fight. Like if I don't knock him out, I lose. So he just tell me the ins and outs of the game.
With that being said, you had. Would you consider your last fight a step-up fight with the opponent that was 9-1?
Yes, that was actually my favorite fight because that fight taught me a lot. He was I'm gonna say my second step-up fight. I had fought somebody named Vinci Dixon before him. That was my first step up, and then they gave me Flavio Rodriguez. I like that fight, but I'm glad it stopped with a head. But that was a good fight. I like that one. That was my real deal step up.
What did you learn from the experience in that fight?
Be more calm. Like in that fight, I seen myself trying to force. I was trying to get a knockout. It was my first TV bout, so I was trying to hurry up and get a knockout. I want to be on all the Instagram pages. I want everybody to post me. I want to highlight reel, everything like that. The thing I learned is don't force it. If it come, it come. If it don't, it don't. But have your day. Pick them here, pick them there. Don't try to force a knockout or anything like that. So it just made me more relaxed. Like I look back on the fight now, if I would have boxed him instead of trying to dog him out, I would have made the fight so much easier.
Well, were you? I guess not nervous. It was just a lot of. You wanted the world to see what you can do, but because you're on a platform, you think if you just would have went in with a different mindset, that your game plan would have been different and it would have been another KO.
Yes, like if you trying to do anything, you will always fail because you're forcing it. You're forcing it. So if I'm just being me, I am a knockout puncher as is. So why try to force being the knockout puncher? If you got it, you got it. So just go with the game plan my daddy gave me, and then everything would have been so much easier. I believe I would have got the knockout in like the 5th round. And he was a tough opponent. I would have got a knockout in the 5th round if I would have went the actual game plan and actually relaxed and just went through.
Now I gotta ask you, man, with a lot of the young fighters, you said something that was interesting to me. You said protect the O. Why is that so? Is that the Floyd factor with him being 50-0? You think he really messed things up? Because if you go back to the 80s and the 90s with the Roberto Duran, Sugar Ray Leonard's, Marvin Haglers of the world, they fought each other. They have losses on their record, and they're still considered legends of the sport, man. So why is it with a lot of the young fighters that we can't get the big fights that we want as fans because they want to protect the O?
All right, the thing about me is, me and my daddy, we all about protecting that O, but we up for the big fights. Now, we still finna protect the O. How we gonna protect it? We finna train harder and work smarter. We not finna run away from a fight just because we might lose. No, we finna take that risk. That's why we train. We want to be the best. Let's be the best. They're protecting their O. I'm protecting my O. Let's fight. Let's bring it together. But all the other fighters, yes, I will agree on that. They don't want the big fights because the Floyd Mayweather effect. And also another thing is people don't realize Floyd worked for everything he got. Like people think they deserve Floyd money or they haven't had Floyd fights. Like they're like say they 20-0. Well, I'm gonna say 28-0, but they ain't fought nobody. They feel like they deserve $100 million. I ain't gonna say $100 million. They think they deserve $5 million and $10 million. Why? You haven't fought nobody. You're still nobody right now. Floyd fought Ricky Hatton, Zab Judah, Shane Mosley, so on and so on. Miguel Cotto. I can keep going all day long. He deserved everything. And he protected his oath. But how did he do that? He was training every day and every night. That's all he do. Hard work and smart work.
You know, I heard in one of the interviews before talking about, it's a difference between, a regular boxer and an internet boxer. Explain that.
All right, so internet boxer, that's what you see with the pad work, the hitting the bag, the throwing the little crazy fast punches, everything like that. Or you might see him sparring somebody that's a bum, everything like that. Those are the internet boxers. Now, if you throw them in a real fight, like a real boxer who just all they doing is working, you will see a big difference. Real fighters out here working. They ain't worried about, well, some of them, I ain't gonna hold back. Some of them, because that's how you promote yourself these days. You post yourself every now and then. There ain't nothing wrong with that. That's the new age. I ain't got no beef with that. But most of these people, they just post them sparring bums, getting knockouts. Anybody can do that any day. I can go knock out a bum right now, come back home, go back out, do it again, 3 of them in a row, everything. Like I heard one thing with Gervonta Davis broke 4 people noses in one day. I believe it was something like that. 4 sparring partner noses in one day. What if they was trash? We never speak on that part. What if they was trash? It don't matter. I can break anybody's nose. I broke a few ribs before. Matter of fact, I broke real fighter ribs in national tournaments. So, I mean, I ain't nothing to hold against Gervonta Davis. I'm just saying, what if they was just bums? If you sparring bums, of course you're finna just kill them and stuff like that.
He worked out down there, trained down there in Atlanta, man. Have you ever had a chance to spar with him?
I sparred him when I was 16 years old. He never came back to spar me again. Now you come up with your own theory on what happened.
Wow. I can't really say too much about that. Okay, since you staying quiet about it, that's actually a good thing. Because I gotta ask, man, what's your thoughts on that? What happens in sparring stays in sparring. How do you feel when people post?
I agree with that, but like I said earlier, I don't have nothing against people posting sparring at the same time. The reason why is because it's the new age. That's how you promote yourself, everything like that. I don't really like to post that much because I agree with what happens in sparring stays in sparring. But every now and then I might post a sparring clip here or there just to promote myself. That's it. But it's not really my main thing. Like, what if I have a bad day? Good day and bad days happen in the gym. But what really matters is what happened in the big stage, in the ring, the actual fight. So it's not really nothing big in sparring. What happens in the gym stays in the gym.
Who would you love to get some work with in sparring that you haven't had a chance to work with? You say, I would really love to work with him in sparring to see where I'm at.
Terrence Crawford.
Everybody says that. That's
I want Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence. And I want to do it in that Houston Heat. They be talking to Dallas or Houston, wherever they at. I want to do it wherever Errol Spence that. I want that heat. And I want to see what it's really feeling like.
Now, do you have any plans for your upcoming next fight? Do you have a fight date in mind yet?
Yeah, right now we're looking at October 10th. It should be a Showtime card. Right now we're just looking for an opponent.
Oh, the Malik Hawkins card.
I think so, yeah.
Where he's fighting Matissa.
I don't really be paying attention.
Yeah. That's my man, though, Malik. Man, what you think about Malik at the 140?
That's the light-skinned dude, right?
Yeah, out of B-More.
No disrespect to him, but I don't see nothing special. I mean, he's a good fighter, but every time I see him, I just don't see nothing special. Matter of fact, even I was just looking at his some of his stuff, I believe 2 days ago. And even still, I was trying to see if anything is special about him. He's not real technical. He's not real fast, real strong. He's not real good at the mental, over the top mentally. So I don't really see nothing special about him.
Okay. I respect that. I leave it at that.
Yeah.
Now, have you had any other promotional companies start looking at you yet and talking to either yourself or your dad?
No, not that I heard of, really.
What would you think it would take for something like that to happen?
The highlight on Showtime I was talking about with my last fight. But stuff, highlights, everything like that, just getting knockouts and looking better.
Do you think also what you had said earlier that we are in the new age that they look at stuff like how many followers a fighter might have and
I believe so, because like it's some of these fighters out here that ain't really doing nothing, but they got a high following. So everything is about money now. Everything.
mm-hmm.
So they see they got, I'm gonna say 500,000 followers. They think they can sell that. So they finna go sign him real quick. They finna give him a little few bum fights, give him a step up fight. Well, it's gonna be pay-per-view or anything like that. Sell his tickets. If he lose, oh well, throw him to the trash. If he win, okay, finna get some more money on him.
What's the goal for the next upcoming year?
Right now we just building up right now. Of course, I want a big fight. I actually want a few. I'm just ready to get to the top. I believe I'm ready.
How active do you actually want to stay as far as fighting?
I'm gonna say 5 fights a year. No, I'm gonna say 4 fights a year now, because I've been in it for a minute. I'm gonna say 4 fights a year.
Now, let me ask you, do you think Atlanta right now, after the Gervonta Tank Davis fight in Atlanta, where, you know, it was a sellout crowd, that Atlanta is now should be considered one of the spots to throw major fighting events as what you see in New York?
I say yes.
Uh,
I believe. Then I want to sell out the Georgia Dome also. So I want to be the person who bring a whole bunch of fights to Georgia, and build up Georgia even more. Cause like people sleep on Georgia. They say we ain't got no fighters. Like you said, when you first came in, we don't really have gyms like that. So people think that we not doing work, but we really out here working. So I want to bring more attention to Georgia.
With that being said, what's the conversation like with other boxers from Georgia, like the Montgomery brothers? Do y'all have a frustration what's going on right now, or you just waiting your time?
No, we understand. We just going through them. Like, we know if we just keep working, sooner or later we finna hit the top. So we're not really worried about where we at now or anything like that. We're not worried about the present day. We worry about the future. So we know if we put in the work, we land the groundwork, we finna just build up.
How hard is it to balance family and boxing?
I mean, it's not really hard at all. It's like, because I do everything alone, like in my own time. So if I wake up in the morning, everybody else sleep, I go run, I come back, I can have family time, or I can chill with my peoples, everything like that. Later on, might work out two or 3 times after that. But like anytime I'm at the gym, I can chill with my family anytime. It's not really hard.
Do you have any other interests outside of boxing? Like what's a day in the life of Brian?
Learning. I like to learn a lot. That's my main thing. I like to read and I like to learn a lot, really. So anything, like if I don't know anything or if I don't know it enough, I want to learn it. Like not even just with sports, anything like that, like nutrition. I'm real big on nutrition. I try to learn about nutrition every day, try to get better. Even outside of that, like even let's say recently I got into stocks. I'm reading up on stocks. I'm learning about stocks, everything like that. So anything I can learn, I want to know. One day I want to write a book. I'm gonna learn about that too.
I mean, that's good to hear, man. That you staying focused, and because reading is knowledge. They said anything you want to keep away from somebody, put it in a book.
Yes.
What's one of the most interesting books that you read?
The Law of Attraction. That's the main one. That's the main one I like. It's like it taught me a lot that pretty much doing. It, like whatever you think about and work on is literally bound to happen no matter what. So that's my favorite book, The Law of Attraction.
Hey man, I really appreciate your time today, coming on the ropes, man, and putting a spotlight on boxing down there in Georgia, man. Hey man, I root for everybody to come from there, man, for real.
Yeah, thank you for having me. Thank you.
Man, I appreciate your time, man.
All right, thank you.
All right, there you have it. Brian, the Assassin Norman Jr. Just giving the insight on the road to coming up in the sport of boxing. It's not easy. It's not easy. And I always root for the underdog, man. He doing his thing right now. His father was a professional, and just giving him the insight of what he went through in the sport of boxing. So, and as you can see, a great father who took care of his son, and that's one of the things I want to show, breaking the stereotypes of how they portray us in the media and things of that nature. So I really thank everyone for tuning in. Shout out to Rock Pitts for putting me on to him, and to Coach Zaire, man. I really appreciate it, Rock Pitts. I want to thank everyone for tuning in to On the Ropes. Be back at 2:00 for the interview with my young sensation, the Jolly Twins, man. They some bad boys in the sport of basketball, for real. And we'll get to hear from them and their dad. On the Ropes, I'm out.